hold things together. Point number 3, my last point, if the church is going to be the church, you've got to maintain your integrity. Jesus asked a question, but if the salt has lost its flavor, how then shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing, but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. Now, I read this verse many of times, and I must admit that I read it wrong and missed out on what Jesus was trying to say. It says, if salt stop being salty, then it becomes good for nothing. But as long as I've been alive, salt has always been salty. Salt is a non-perishable product, which means it can be on the shelf, in the store, or in your kitchen cabinet for years, and it will still be salt. And when you pour it out, it will still be salty. Am I right?
Yes.
So in this text, Jesus is not talking about salt being salty in itself. But what Jesus is talking about is salt losing its integrity by being contaminated and compromised by another substance. Salt can only be contaminated when other stuff is added to it. And in the contamination, the flavor will be diminished. And Jesus said, when this happens, salt becomes worthless. Or he says it's good for nothing. You'll get it? Your eyes are so intent. In Luke 14:34, Jesus says, if salt loses its saltiness by being contaminated, it's not even worth being put on fertilizer. Jesus is saying that the church should never be in a position where it's not worth anything. And I like to say it like this. Should never be in a position where it ain't worth nothing.
Okay.
I want